We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Nissin, it is the Geki chili-infused Asian noodles, fiery hot chicken flavor. So Geki is a Japanese word that means extreme, to my understanding. So extreme chili-infused Asian noodles, extreme fiery hot chicken. And yes, this is taking aim squarely, no pun, at the Korean fire noodles. And so they've done fire walks as well. And I think, so, you know, them and Maruchan were having a relentless battle for the cheap noodle segment for quite a while. Nissin and Maruchan. And Nissin has really seemed to sort of embrace this, because I think they're looking at it and going, okay, so we can charge double or triple what we get for our normal noodles by just throwing in a packet of extract. Wow! And I think that is kind of where this is going, but I think they also, you know, they see a really exciting trend that Nissin is the one that did the cup of noodles, which was kind of a Lipton thing for a while. They jumped on that to kind of separate themselves from Maruchan, and now they've got the Firewalk bowls, most of which are garbage, but all of which have been reviewed on this channel in the Spicy Noodles playlist. So here we have a little blurb here about Geki. Extreme in Japanese, extreme spice in every bite, blah, 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 blah. So are they trying to say there's infused chili in the actual noodles themselves? Spice level here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, wait a minute, is that? Looks like 6, but the last pepper is really big. It's a max spicy level, max. I have done the max level of the Firewalks as well. That was the Mongolian beef, which was, it came with the packet of chili sauce. It was more or less like Vaseline. Go check out that video if you're interested. But it was a repulsive product. It wasn't good. It was okay. Very pedestrian, but okay, until I added the chili Vaseline, and then it just turned into trash. All right, so 54% of our sodium. So yeah, we get that in for the day. It's one of the huge issues with ramen generally, is that they're just so sodium heavy. All right, we're gonna. Oh, there we go. There's our natural flavor. There's our extract. What else might we have in here? Anything. Ooh, that's up kind of high too. Huh. So we can see the noodles are up here, but I don't see any reference to any chilies or any extract in the actual noodles themselves. So I'm pretty sure this is just their regular old ramen noodles. You got red bell pepper powder, because, you know, it has to be red. Gotta be red. Alright, natural flavor. So that is actually fairly high in the less than 2. Okay, so it's about a midpoint. So I'm expecting at least some respectable heat here. Is this going to be anywhere near? Okay, so look at this. Those are coated noodles. What the hell? Oh. 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 Wow. I saw somebody making this ramen salad with a bunch of broken ramen noodles. I guess you could put something like this in there. This isn't good by itself, though. At least not dry. We got to break this up a little bit. Look at this though. That's definitely they clearly, well, actually they didn't just spray the outside. It looks like they sprayed the entire noodles with it. You see in the center here, we still have that. I'm sure they came down the line and onto a coater though. Like, I don't know why you'd do it any other way. And here is the seasoning. So is this more? No, this has got to be the chicken flavor. So this is an interesting approach. You're actually so novel, very novel. I don't think I've seen anybody else do this quite like this before. Actually coating the noodles, and then okay, so I gotta look at the instructions here, figure out how to do this. Okay, so it wants us to just cook the noodles, drain off the water. That doesn't make sense. Drain off the water. So we're gonna throw away all the flavoring. That's smart. That's wise. We're not doing that. We're gonna do our usual bit. So it wants the seasoning to come afterwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go throw this in there for 4 minutes as per usual, and then I'm gonna stir this in, and then we're gonna wait for 5 minutes. Or should I just put this in now? The one issue I have with putting, you know what, screw it, we'll do it. Sometimes you can get this, the peppers aerosolizing when you do that. In fact, my kitchen, the last time I had some pepper stuff that was in the microwave, like I could smell it in my kitchen for about a week. And this looks like it's just straight pepper stuff, but I want to show it to you now because my preferred method of doing this, as you've seen, if you've seen any of the other content, the other video content of noodles, is to water 4 minutes in the microwave, 5 minutes sitting, and then we go. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, and there we can see, definitely got a lot of stuff going on in the bowl here. Noodles are nice and plumped up. Boy, this is still hot though. Dang it. Dang it. Some liquid in there. I'm not going to drink any of this. But, I mean, water's not going to make a difference as far as the spice level or anything. So, all right, let's see. Are you a competitor for Samyang? I'm almost 100% sure the answer is no. But we might as well just get on into it. I don't love this flavor. There's a sweetness to this that I wasn't expecting. Why are we sweet? What in here is sweet? Oh, our good old buddy Malto. I think Samyang's noodles are better. Just gonna be honest here. The Maruchan has yakisoba noodles. Those have appeared in a number of videos on this channel. Those noodles textures I like a lot better. These are, see, this is like top ramen stuff. And you have to be really careful with those noodles. Those have a curve. Most of the time I just go all the way over and I just let them just get into mush. It's an old bachelor trick. Cut down and clean up, eat them as fast as you can. But these, even if you don't do that, are still, these are just, I don't know, I just don't love these noodles. I like the concept here of So the concept is to coat the actual noodles with your chili concoction, which is great. It's a great idea. Flavor-wise, it's not there. These are not. What am I going to give these? Obviously, I can feel a little bit of an extract burn. I'm going to say these are probably default 1. These are not particularly challenging. These aren't especially hot. And that, I think there's a reason that the Korean noodles tend to have the sort of gochujang type sauce. The pre-liquefied sauce that comes with it. Powders is just so hit and miss. But I'm not getting Korean flavors out of this. So this is maybe... Nissin is a Japanese company. Maybe what they're trying to do is they're trying to shift things. And they're trying to go for a... so these were made in the United States, but maybe what they're trying to go for is more of a spicy Japanese vibe instead of a spicy Korean vibe. That's kind of the impression I'm getting out of this. As I'm getting into these, the taste is getting a little bit better. It still isn't great though. I'm getting a little bit more heat, which is nice. Still not past the default 1 though. These are incredibly salty though, I will say that. Way, way, way too much salt. They really have, they start having a unique flavor though. I don't mind the flavor. I don't love it, I don't mind it though. Alright, salad noodles. Nope. Here's all the soup I had left. You guys can see it there. Not a whole ton of it. Like I said, I'm not drinking that. If I did, would it get above a default 1 into a legit 1? Yeah, maybe. So here's the deal though, right? That is still hot enough that we're gonna have some TRPV1 overlap, right? Because those are actual heat sensors. So it's still warm enough to actually register as actual heat instead of just the chili itself. So I'm inclined not to do that. Overall, I would say, I didn't like the flavor of these initially, but as I got onto it, it grew on me a little bit. I do kind of like their take on it. On the whole fiery, hot, spicy noodles sort of aspect. Like I said, it's much more Japanese than it is Korean, though. That was very, very clear. If these were a lot less salty, I would like them better. I think that is actually one of my bigger issues with this, is that I just find these overly salty. It's why I don't keep ramen on hand, actually. I mean, I like ramen. I like going to ramen restaurants and having some good ramen. I do. The tonkatsu is one of my favorite things when done properly. But I don't keep any of these noodles, and most of the reason for that is because they're just so overly salty. So really the only time I ever eat packaged ramen, is if I'm filming one of these videos. I don't normally eat it or even keep it on hand outside of that. And then it's just because it is such a massive salt bomb, overbearingly so. And that, unfortunately, is the case with this as well. So, I do like this idea though, and I think there's another in the Geki line as well. It might be a sort of their take on a Thai, and if I can find that, and that actually is meant to be hot, I'll do that as well. But at this point, I'm really kind of running light on noodles. I've done so many different ramens now that I think I've sort of exhausted the field. These are relatively new, towards fall 2023. But I don't know if there's new other ones across the horizon. I'll try to find those, and I think there's maybe one or two other ones I've researched that I have sort of on the back burner to try to do. But realistically, I've done a lot of them, and that is not so much with the foreign ones, but certainly the ones that are American produced. They just tend to have such an over preponderance of salt that it just makes it hard for me to consider keeping them on hand and eating them regularly. This particular one, this packet was $1.50, and I think it is pressing hard against that price point for me as to whether or not it's worth it. So, I mean, I certainly don't regret this, but it never really got past the default one. I did appreciate their novel take though. A Korean fire noodles by way of Japan. I think that was kind of interesting to experience. So that is probably what I find, I think, more redeeming about these. Certainly not the spice. These are no competition at all for Samyang or even Wong. So there you go, I guess. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see new products coming out, and I applaud the attempt. And I guess that's probably a good place to leave it. So this is the Nissin Geki fiery hot chicken flavored ramen. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.